Horrific crime splashed across the front pages of the local papers. Teen beauty found slain. She was Lynn Robin, and nearly 60 years after her death, her friends and family still think about this case every day. It was a roller coaster, the murder, a confession, and then an acquittal, leaving unanswered the question, who killed Lynn Robin? In the spring of 1966, Lynn Robin was a typical high school senior.
That's Lynn.
She loved going to Bobby's roll-away with her friends and was getting ready to go to her senior prom and graduate from West High. Her friends, Cheryl Amaral and Mary Parker, said everyone liked her.
Probably the sweetest girl you could meet.
Lynn was one of four, the second oldest and only girl in the Robin family. Her brother Michael says they bonded over music. It was a simple childhood in Pawtucket.
You know, hanging out with friends and sandlot baseball, things like that.
And so, May 7th, 1966 was like any Saturday night. Lynn drove her boyfriend to the Lonsdale Drive-In, and by 11:30, her car was back in the driveway of her Garden Street home. Mary's now husband remembers seeing her pull in.
He saw her pulling in the yard. He was actually going to go over there, and he goes, oh, it's too late. So we turned and went home.
But Lynn never made it inside. The following day, when her parents noticed her car in the driveway but no signs of their daughter, they reported Lynn missing. It would only be a few hours before they got the devastating news.
The police came to my home and informed my parents. And I think my father had to go identify, and that was just, I just can't imagine. I don't even know how you did. I can't even imagine. Just thinking about it just bothers me so much.
The shock of Lynn's sudden death stunned the Robin family. Michael says it was like a light went out inside his mother.
Through the rest of her life, it was just something she carried, and just, we all carried, you know.
News of Lynn's death quickly began to spread. Mary remembers hearing it first on the radio.
And I was driving home through the city. I couldn't have heard it right. I just stopped and I'm parked on the sidewalk waiting for them to repeat it, and they did. And that's it. I had to stay there for a while. I couldn't even drive.
Police say the teen's body was found near the Brown Boathouse on River Drive, a known lover's lane at the time. Investigators say she had been stabbed roughly 40 times with a weapon that could have been a screwdriver. But police never found that weapon or Lynn's car keys or handbag. Her friends started to wonder who would want to kill an innocent girl.
Everybody just assumed somebody that she knew was waiting there, because she wouldn't have just gotten a car with anybody.
But in a twist that stunned Lynn's closest classmates, police announced they had a signed confession from Lynn's killer. Who was the alleged culprit? Lynn's boyfriend. Investigators say he admitted to stabbing Lynn with a knife during an argument over prom. The confession, as reported in the newspapers at the time, came on May 8th at 10 p.m., just 6.5 hours after Lynn's body was found.
He didn't do it, period.
Lynn's friends are adamant to this day that Lynn's boyfriend was not the man responsible. Shortly after the confession, the boyfriend said he had been coerced by investigators into signing it. It was something a jury would ultimately believe. With an alibi from his brothers, no murder weapon, and no witnesses, a jury of 7 women and 5 men took less than 9 hours to deliberate. They found him not guilty.
It is a cold case because no one has been convicted.
Providence Police Major David LePayton says when a jury acquits a suspect, investigators get right back to work.
You know, they decided he was not guilty, the jury, so we have to abide by that. So what we do is we go right back to the drawing board from day one, back to the case, and we try and use everything we can find from the court records to try and help us maybe going in a different direction.
Police have to go in a different direction because the same person cannot be tried again for a crime of which they're acquitted. In the case of Lynn's boyfriend, he was released from prison after his acquittal and went on to live what was by all accounts a normal and quiet life. He died in 2011. His family declined our requests for an interview.
I saved everything. Every article I could get my hands on, I saved.
Lynn's friends are hopeful police will someday name a new suspect, but they know the passage of time could work against them.
I've always said, I said, you should try and find something out for Lynn, something, have something happen for her. And if it, nothing comes out of it, at least
we tried.
We've tried to do something for her, that she's not forgotten.
That's why Michael says he wanted to speak out about his sister's case too.
I think I kind of owe it to my sister too, because I don't want her memory. I know we buried so much about her over the years because of the hurt and the pain, and so I feel like there would be some kind of a closure to do this.
There are so many families who are hoping for closure, and you may be able to help them. To see our coverage of dozens of other cold cases from both Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, just go to WPRI.com. Thank you for watching. Good night.